Yeah, that one I sent you is the biggest amount I saw in the list.
Well, there's one here that says Waldo Broadband Corporation, and that's $10 million.
Yep, that's the one. It's doing all those towns in your neighborhood.
That's Palermo, Freedom, Liberty, Montville, Searsmont, and Unitel Direct. I thought Unitel was in China or something.
Well, I think they had their headquarters was in Unity, but they also had they were one of those rinky dink phone companies there. They owned a bunch of little ones. But 2 years, it might light it up.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. This is the first I've heard of it.
Like you said, you look at the towns in the West, they're podunk plus. But I'm on the map you're on that shows a lot of red. They're unserved locations at the moment, but they're be interesting to see what it looks like after they start laying it.
Well, the biggest thing will always be the last miles, you know.
Yeah, are you looking at that map and at the top it says internet service?
It says what?
Internet service, and the header it has internet service, infrastructure awards, and planning awards. Well, if you click on the one for infrastructure awards, Waldo County turns yellow.
Yeah, awards, yeah.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Dan.
Good evening, Dan. Killinadium.
What's going on with you?
And one ARO.
Did you get the door all closed up again?
I did. Yep. No tracks out there, of course. And but yep, dog. I went out and the door was right wide open. Of course, no heat in there at all. Sonny's sitting there looking at me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Waiting to go for a walk.
Yeah, or get warm. So yep, I closed the door and it'll heat right back up. But I don't know.
Since you fenced it in, you haven't had any more predators get through the fence, have you?
Nope, they all got the memo. Good evening, Danny, by the way.
Hi, George.
3 inches of snow and snowing hard.
Yeah, I'd say that's about what we got. Well, we kind of had some excitement at the scout camp this afternoon. National Guard was in their training.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a bit of 50 caliber practice and stuff, and all kinds of other all kinds of other war games.
Oh, that's nice.
That sounds like fun. I want to participate.
I'm sure they're shooting blanks.
I don't think they got that kind of range to handle 50 cal there, do they?
I'm watching a show on Yellowstone National Park on grizzlies.
Oh, you're getting ready for the MAGA to blow up?
Get your canned goods all in a safe place so they won't blow out of the cans when all that heat hits them.
Yeah. Between the beef and chicken and goats and every other damn thing, we're probably in about the best place you could be on this farm. Maybe. At least I'd rather be here than some city, let me put it that way. But I am not a city boy.
Between floods and fires and earthquakes and whatever else, tornadoes and hurricanes.
Yep, the state of Maine is a place to be, and yep, I am not a city boy, so there's that.
I was watching the snowfall down Atlanta and down south today. They got these big pickup trucks, and they got 2 inches of snow in there sitting there. They haven't got a clue how to operate.
Well, they don't have any experience whatsoever.
Yeah, well, it's going to take them a while to develop the egg plan. When you get a lead foot, it doesn't work in snow.
They ain't got tires to beat the band either.
Well, they don't have tires. They don't have equipment. They stick a plow on top of on the front of a trash collector and expect they're going to plow snow with it. You know, that's just not going to work.
Operator failure.
Yeah.
My neighbors were telling me out in Colorado, they didn't plow the side streets. And I'm sitting there, what? Because they asked me when they moved here they lived just outside of Denver, you know, in a place populated about like we are here. And they said they don't plow the side streets out there with it snows. And I'm sitting there. If it was Maine, they'd be hunting for their heads if they didn't see the plow truck.
Well, one of the things that happens in Colorado is it's a mile high and it gets snow, but it also gets sun. When it gets sun, it gets heat very fast, and a lot of it goes away quickly.
Yeah, it does, because the angle of the sun out there, it's a little bit different than here.
Yeah, so they don't have to be Johnny on the spot. You know, some places they do, but that's part of the reason they don't do much of that.
Oh, this afternoon, just coming out of the camp, I was on 46th there, and I ended up making a right-hand turn there to get on 1 and Holden there to head for Brewer and Bangor. We had a line of traffic there like you wouldn't even believe. 5 and 10 miles an hour, all the way to 395. Come to find out, state was plowing the road.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing when I came out of Belfast this afternoon around 1:30, and there's a plow coming at me the other way, and there's a line of traffic a couple of miles long behind him.
Yeah, they're doing about 5 miles an hour. I couldn't believe it. I said, what is this?
Well, it's pretty slippery in places, and he's putting sand down as well as plowing.
I was ready to pull off the side of the road and take a nap.
Well, it's a 5-year plan here, Alan. Have you read this over?
Yeah, I know. It's a long-term project. I'm just reading where it said in there they sold the 3-ring binder project, the first light out of Albany, New York, and they, of course, jacked the price up.
Oh, yes, I knew about that. That was a screwing and a half. That is absolutely correct. That 3-ring binder is now owned by out of state. I knew that about 2 years ago, a year ago anyway.
They told us that with the Mira, there's going to be some price jumps.
What's jumping in price?
The Mira, our electric provider. Just what I need, huh?
Oh, yeah, they've been working on that because the grid there down in Massachusetts, the ISO grid's going to get some major work done.
Imagine your homeowner's insurance is going to go sky high there so they can afford to make some money to pay for California.
Boy, just imagine the claims down there, huh?
Not many. A lot of people didn't have insurance.
I guess some of these insurance companies, they probably divide your insurance up. You know, you got to have flood insurance. Maybe you got to have fire insurance too, or I don't know how that all works. I imagine they're going to weasel out of a lot of claims.
That's usually what happens. Oh, you're not covered.
Yeah, watching the news tonight, I guess there's 13 of them that didn't make it anymore, and then is evacuating 150,000. The wind has changed in a different direction to something or other. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw one of the Quebec airdrop planes. They hit a drone. Somebody had their drone up and it left the wing on the airdrop plane from Quebec.
Yep, these drone people are going to work themselves right out of an occupation. Or any kind of drone fly.
The amount of air support they got in California for water dropping, you'd think that you'd have to have rocks in your head to even think of putting up a drone.
Well, you know, some of these people running drones have rocks in their head.
I wonder who controls the air traffic and, you know, when those planes are in the air and helicopters and stuff.
FAA.
No, I realize that, but I mean, there's a lot of traffic in the air going all kinds of different directions there with water and chemicals and whatnot.
I was watching one tonight. It was a DC-10 water bomber. That's a pretty damn good sized water bomber.
Running out of water. One of the commentaries said that they didn't send enough water from out in the northeast or the northern states and stuff to send them water down there because they wanted to protect the little fishies.
I think they debunked that one, Danny. The reason they're running out of pressure is so many of the houses burned off when the house burns off, your connection's still hooked up. Nobody's been in to shut off the water. They got so much leakage from all those houses burned down. Of course, the pressure's going to drop.
Just one hell of a mess.
Just wait until the monsoon season comes. All those hillsides out there without any vegetation on them, they'll be the biggest mudslides you ever saw.
Anybody heard from Carl lately?
Well, the one to answer that is Stan, but in his absence, he apparently didn't hear your question. No, we haven't heard from him in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, I knew it'd been a while. Danny, you heard from Carl at all?
Where'd you go, Dan?
Oh, I was just checking the stove here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering, you ever heard from Carl lately? I haven't talked to him in a long time.
No, I don't know. He said he's taking retirement and turning to be real lazy and stuff, but I think he's taking retirement too seriously.
You're right.
Talked to Peter tonight, Dan.
Oh, you did?
Right after the Seagull Net.
Oh, no kidding. Did you tell him to join us later on?
What's that?
Did you tell him to come and join us later on?
Well, he knows damn well he can do that, but the temperature in his radio room is 42 degrees, and apparently he doesn't want to turn on his heat pump. So he's sitting down by the fire.
Didn't he have a small kerosene heater?
Yep. He was talking to me, and it was 42 degrees in his radio room.
Good grief.
Yikes.
That's right.
What's he doing? Challenging Pete to run the ice box?
I don't know.
Pete used to get down in the 50s. I thought it was bad.
Well, Alan, this is a 5-year project, and they're just beginning. They got a long way to go here.
Oh, yeah. But they colored in the picture somewhat, but I realize Rome isn't built in a day.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. They're describing here in the action plan kind of people they got to hire. Doesn't look like they've hired too many. All job descriptions that are just growing, you know.
That's pleasant.
Welcome to the international tune-up frequency.
Right.
I'm glad we're all zeroed in.
We used to tune up and it sounded like a machine gun. On rapid fire. Haven't heard that for quite a few years.
I don't tune this one up anymore. Well, you guys all have a good evening. I just figured I'd pop in and say hello to everybody.
Well, come again.
Have a good one, George. Hopefully you get some puppies coming through here. Okay, we need him.
Yeah, be good, George.
Yep, see you guys. Yep, we'll have pups here in a week or so. Yep, 73 N1ARO.
Yeah, take care. L-E-1-H-H-O.
No. What do we got? 17 minutes more this morning?
I don't know. Where do you dig that up?
Channel 2 News in the morning.
Oh, okay.
A little blurb on Portland. Of course, the screen has got a bunch of other information on it, the tides and stuff like that, and the number of daylight change, and then, turn that one off from Portland, put the screen on for Bengal.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's all kinds of other information too, sun up, sun down, all this and that.
Oh, that's good. Okay. hope the new administration doesn't decide to shut down some of these things that they're talking about in these reports.
This full moon is close to it.
I think 2 more days.
Looking out the dooryard here, it seems to be lit up pretty good.
Oh yeah, I noticed it myself when I got up last night in the middle of the night. It was pretty bright. Be brighter tonight with the snow on the ground.
I thought of Don Perry the other afternoon. As we were heading in town, some guy hung a brand new mailbox. The post must be at least 8 feet off the ground, with an arm comes across it. And then there's 4 feet of chain from the top of that post arm, 2 pieces of chain holding the mailbox out, and the wind was blowing. And that mailbox, I'm telling you, was swinging back and forth. I said even the car driving by would probably get nailed.
Oh my goodness.
I thought of Don Perry when I saw that mailbox. I said, that's one of the mailman's favorite mailboxes, the ones that swing. Bet you that thing was traveling 6 if not 7 feet in every direction when the wind was blowing.
Oh really?
I think Don said the ones he hates the most are the ones that have it on a pivot. They have a string that you got to pull the mailbox down to put the mail in.
Yep. I wonder how this connection's going to come to the house, Alan. Well, where'd Ellen go? Did he leave?
Probably had to take care of the pup.
I didn't hear him say he was leaving, but I guess he did, huh? Good. W1HHO.
Yeah.
He's well into audio. For that 204 that you changed something out in it. But, you know, the way he talked, it was like $150 just for the part. Yeah, I don't know what, I think the 204 does really good right what it does, but, let me, I'm just going to turn mine off here, Richard, let you hear the difference. It shouldn't make a whole lot of difference other than just a little bit of bottom and a little bit of clarity on the high end. You know what they do, but I'm going to just do a quick AB here on mine. All right, right there, you guys listen. There is, that's the way I play it all the time here. That's just with that big bottom and the exciter. They are engaged, and when I come back, it'll be off. And right there, I'm coming back to you. That's with it off. There shouldn't be a huge difference, but you should notice just a little bit of difference on the richness on the bottom and the clarity on the high end. It's not that much difference at all. No, it's very minute. Yeah, it shouldn't be. That's exactly the way it should be set up, to where there's very, very little difference. You'd have to listen really close just to hear that little bit of richness. I've got it back on there right now, but just that little bit of thick rumble in the low end, and just a little bit of clarity on the highs. But anyway, I've got it back on right there, and that's as you can tell by it being on and off there. There's not a huge. It's not doing a huge amount of changes. Yeah. I tell you, a piece of equipment, and it doesn't really cost that much. I think it's $200 maybe something, but I've always wanted to try one, and it's called a harmonizer. It will make one person sound like two people harmonizing with one another. One be low, one be high. And it's got a setting on it where you can have a high and a low, or a low and a high, or you can have two lows and a high, or, you know, it's a variation of how you want to fix it and program it. But it does have reverb, which I wouldn't use the reverb on it, but it does have what they call a gender knob, where you can make it more mannish, or you can add a little bit of woman to it, you know, or you can make it sound like Darth Vader if you want to. But I've always wanted to try one of them things. Right. I don't think I've ever played around with one. I don't think. Yeah. So you can put a lot of bottom in it, and then add that high on the harmony, and add a little bit more than normal to the high end, and make it sound. I've been watching the videos on it. Now, on my computer interface here, where I have my mic, that is called a Rode Streamer X. I think it's got something here that alters, that I could alter my voice to make it sound like Darth Vader or something like that, I believe. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want that, but you know, it's got it. It's called a ginger knob. My ginger knob quit working years ago.
disguising my voice to make it sound like a robot.
Uh-huh.
What about right there, Richard? What does that sound like?
It don't sound like you. You sound like Hulk Hogan. Or, what was his name, that giant wrestler?
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Am I back to normal now?
Yeah.
Hell, I got scared there. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get back or not.
You guys might already know this little bit of information. I just ran across it a week or so ago. Did you guys know that Bob Howe developed this EQ system for Yahoo?
Yeah? Yeah, he sure did.
And Randy, he was instrumental in setting up the icon line. Just that bass and treble and the plus and minus. Yeah. He was instrumental in setting that up.
He worked with Yaesu on their parametric EQ also. You know, when he retired, I heard, I don't know whether it's true or not, but I heard that he gave that company over to the employees.
I heard the same thing, Richard. I think he did.
Well, I'll tell you, he and, oh, shit, I'm having a brain fart.
Gordo,
the guitar player that played with,
Oh, he did the,
huh?
he did the sounds of the Eagles.
Yeah.
I can't think of the guy. How about Rick? I can't think of his name. He's a ham.
Yeah. He and Bob Howe were good buddies.
Yeah.
I was looking at, a couple of weeks ago, I was looking on, I got this video, on Jukebox, where you can play old songs and stuff, and some of the new songs also, but, I didn't know Vince Gill was singing with the Eagles now.
oh yeah, he's been with them, Richard. I'm trying to think, quite a while. A number of years, 4 or 5 years at least. He's been their front man, or their lead guy, lead singer.
Yeah, front man's right.
What,
He was with a group called the Pure Prairie League many years ago.
yeah?
I like to hear that guy play a mandolin.
Just barely, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. This is what he said. He says the G2 may be running both the P2 app and high HPSDR at the same time or multiple instances of the P2 app. On the G2 console, you can run, and he put in parentheses, TOP in the terminal and see what it, and see if that's true. I've never known, I don't know that command, TOP, Tango Oscar Papa. I'm gonna try that once I put an advertisement on this Geochrome Atlas.
Coming up on the 20, N4 QNT.
N4 DFR. Hey, UNL, good evening. I'm fine here. Let me look you up. I don't recall the call sign. N4 UNL. Oh, wow. I used to live in Schuylerville. Yeah. We're here, Brian. Name here, you like to know, is Captain Darren. We also have Art. He's over there in North Carolina. Art, do you hear Brian? His call is November 2 UNL.
I sure do. Good evening, Brian. This is Art, N4 QNT, North Carolina. And you're booming in. Wow, the band must be playing really well tonight, but you're coming in great. At least 15 over here.
That sounds late to me when I got my lightning strike in my computer. Yeah, I gotcha. You know what I do with my theater settings? I go to, let me look it up. I go to the roaming, and then I make a complete copy, and I save it to another folder. So I go to roaming. It's all hidden. So you gotta go to roaming, and then you go to open that Open HPSDR. Are you familiar with that folder? Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I haven't seen this video, but I saw it posted. I subscribe to the channel, so I get notifications. I'm going to have to take a look at that. It might be an easier way, but I like to look at that. All right, Brian, I'm trying to advertise this Geochrome Atlas 4K. I'm posted on QRZ, so I'm taking photos and everything, and I need to type up a description. Okay, roger that, Brian. Nice talking with you up there in New York, Lake Placid area. And have a good evening. So, Philly Face for now, Brian. Into UNL in the group. This is N4 VFR, and Art, I'm just going to be standing by.
All right, very good. And, good evening, Brian. Good to hear you. And booming in, nice signal. N2UNL, N4QNT. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, certainly it's good to have a backup, but now a backup of a backup. So, okay. Oh, man. All right. I thought I heard a station coming in, a light signal, but we'll see if we can make something out here. I heard something like a November. Was there a Whiskey November station? All right, maybe not.
Hey, I have a question. Sometimes I'll be, after I unkey, talking, and all of a sudden the attenuation or the gain or something, the signal just drops. So in order to come back again, I have to say, check real quick on the key, and the signal comes right back up. I'm not sure what that is, but my AGC, I took a look at it. It's right now it's at 91.
Yeah, so it's open. I mean, that's wide open almost, so there's nothing there as far as the rejection or the decrease in the noise floor, right? Maybe at 60 or 56, right, it would be a lot lower. So 90-ish is pretty much wide open, but that's odd. I don't know. I mean, I mean, there could be several things, but one thing that comes to mind, I remember I had a small issue with an amp with the relay, vacuum relay actually sticking, and I had to key a couple of times to get it to come back to get the receiver back. So, I'm not saying that's, the part in your amp, but I'm just wondering if, something's a relay or something that's sticking.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, because it's like it doesn't want to open up to the full receive. So do you think something might be wrong with the RF kit? I might have to call the guy John at Island Amplifiers, and ask if he knows anything about that.
Yeah, and you know the troubleshoots, Darren. I mean, it's a little legwork, but of course you can duplicate your issue now or currently at the moment if it is happening right now, and then pretty quickly bypass any jumpers and go direct to your radio and see if you can duplicate the issue. If you can't, well, you know where I'm leaning.
Yeah, man, it's pain in the butt. I'm trying to get a lot of these projects done and reduce some of my equipment too. But do you know if Doug got his RS2KS amplifier in yet?
I think it's coming this week. It seemed like he already wrapped the deal up with Danny. Danny up in Canada. I think he's taking Doug's VK. So the timing is just right. When his comes in, and it's all the, so I guess this week it's happening.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, he's also going on a trip, visit the island. Oh, to Danny?
He's having his app delivered to where he works at, so when he comes in, it'll be at his workplace.
Yeah, he's already got it set up with his partners. His partner, they always put it on his desk just right, so when he walks in, there it is. They've already placed like 17 microphones in the last year and a half.
Check.
Oh, Doug's mic's here. Hold on, let me go put it on his desk.
Hang on, I'm testing 1, 2.
Oh yeah, that'll go over well. Yeah, that's hilarious. At the bottom of the hour, N4QNT.
KG4 WQQ.
Yeah, Richard, you're sounding really good. I have to tell you, I'm getting pretty stoked about this, about going this way now with the interface hookup instead of hardwire.
Yeah, I mean, it's working. I had a lot of problems today, as you know. I really don't want to talk too much about it, but I didn't get anything done that I said I was going to do last night. One, I didn't get to put the other roadcaster up here and play with it and see. Two, I've been looking all afternoon since about 4 o'clock when I got things here squared away that I'm trying to find my SMA connector and my 3/16 coax so I can make me a connection to the new sampler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All your other stuff or your other coupler sampler, I guess, uses the PL259 hookup. So, yeah, this is going to be BNC to SMA. That's right. Or I guess SMA male.
Yeah, it's SMA to BNC, and right now everything's BNC. So I got to get it swapped. If I can't find my SMA connectors, I don't know. I got one here that I'll just have to put a barrel connector on it.
Well, they have them little converters too, the SMA to BNC female, something like that. I guess, you could, but then you have to wait. Amazon has them for, $4 or $5.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all that here. I can do that if I have to, but I really don't want to have to. I'd rather just make a BNC to SMA connection.
Hey, Art.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what the issue is. It could be that the Palstar can be detuning or something like that. I'm pushing power right now, 1,200 watts.
All right, so are you using Ritchie software on the Palstar?
Yeah, I am using it, and what I did, once it was tuned up, I put it in manual.
Okay, man, I think I noticed that a few times. If it just depends on where you at or on the band, and it seems like one of the memories will come back, and like you'll be on a different portion of the band, not the radio, not the VFO, but it seems like the tuner senses that, and it the noise floor drops, and then it has to retune.
Yeah, that's what happened. It's like the noise floor drops, and I can't hear you. So, and I'm looking at it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to, instead of putting it in automatic, tune it in automatic, fine tune it, and then leave it in manual after you store it. Do you think that would work? Just leave it in manual once you got it fine tuned?
Yeah, I find myself doing that quite often, just in case. I don't want it bouncing around while I'm transmitting, as far as, detuning, like you said. But I guess possibly it could be buggy. It still could be buggy software. And he even said, too, there'll be versions to come, when he fine-tunes it and comes up with an upgrade. So I think, it was a rapid upgrade since the last one, as you know, especially with that weather feature. But right now he's at 1.03, so once he gets back into the rhythm of coding again and upgrading stuff, he'll probably touch up the HF Auto software too.
There's 104 out for the HF Auto.
Is it really? Yeah. Oh, I lost track. What is it on his GitHub page?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. That's what I got. I just pulled mine up so I could see it. Mine got 104.
What do you have, Darren?
1.04.
Yeah, and that's what I got, 104. So it's even the first version. I didn't find a bug with it, but apparently there was. It's just like Thetis. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
To be honest about it, I had better luck out of 102.
You think it was more stable?
To me, it was. It worked better because this one here, this 104 that I got on here, is doing like Captain Darren says. Every once in a while, that thing goes bzzz when you're transmitting. And I asked you about it, and you said, I just put mine in manual. So that's what I've been doing. I just been putting mine in manual.
And Richard, do you notice that the noise floor all of a sudden just drops?
Yep, noise floor drops, and the tuner has to retune.
Okay, so it's not my amp, it's the RF, it's the HF tuner.
Well, the software.
It's the software.
Yeah, software.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that, but I haven't noticed it yet.
No, I'm not sure when we ID'd. Let's just reset the time. N4 VFR.
Yeah. Also, I went in and set up my three antennas, which that was a little tricky sometimes, and I also added the SWR and power out on my display in my container, just like it shows on the front of the tuner itself. It makes it nice to look at.
Yeah, it's crazy what all you can do with that program for the HF Auto now on Thetis.
You know, even if I don't run the Anon, I could run a different radio and still have the view of it on the desktop somewhere, which makes it nice. You know, they do have. I know somebody who bought one of those remote control heads that that Palstar sells for their tuner. And I told him about the software, and of course, he goes, "Well, how come they didn't have that when I bought this?" I said, "Well, sell it on, QTH."
Yeah, that's what Captain Darren's doing right now, making a listing for his. He's got that remote control head for the HF Auto for the Palstar. He said he was going to get shit of it.
I put mine up first today.
And that caused him to lower his price.
Yeah, that's funny you said that, Brian. We both of us, letting them go. The HF Auto R's. I've had mine for a few years. I just like having the large box off the desk somewhere else, and some people even put them in a closet. The big HF Auto, and then just use a remote head on the desk. But yeah, it's good. We're going to be ready to box up and send it down the road because of this software.
Yeah, I don't know how many sales that they actually have for that remote head, but it's gonna. I don't know. I'm just surprised Richie and Paul come to the agreement that he could do that without hurting any sales. But hey, it's a win-win.
Maybe the way Paul looks at it is the higher dollar item, which is the HF Auto itself, and maybe selling more of those, and that would kind of he probably doesn't sell a lot of R's, so the remote head, right? So maybe he figures this will boost sales on the primary unit.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I didn't have an HF Auto, I would go out and get one to see how this works with the radio software.
And for QNT, it's a 40.
GG4 WQQ.
And for VFR.
And 2 UNL.
Hey, Captain Darren.
Yes, sir.
I'm running CM ASIO.
Oh, you got it working and the pure signal's working?
Yeah, pure signal's working. With this bird meter right now, I got the Tektronix one here. I got it from DJ.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, because when they first advertised the CM ASIO, down at the bottom, you can see it. It's what do you call it? On your display, you can see CM ASIO or something like that. I had an issue with pure signal. It didn't work anymore.
You might want to readjust it though, Darren.
TeamView and put it on here for me. Mine works. I ain't had a bit of problem with it.
Yeah, you might want to readdress that with the new version of Thetis. I think when you did it, it was still the beta or one of those development Thetises at the time. But it seems like since 10.3.8 and the CM ASIO, it's been working great. Who else is doing it? Oh yeah, Dwayne just did it. His is working great. He did it with his XAir 18. He implemented it yesterday. And John, KC2QMA, with his new topping audio interface box, and so he's got it going too. So and pure signal's working perfect.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so that's another thing I need to try. Alrighty. Appreciate the info, because once it messed up, I said, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not even using the fast latency. The fastest connection. I'm using 2048 still.
And there's also a new tweak. Well, it's not new, but it's just a better way of doing it. Instead of going into the registry manually and making that line and then putting in your driver for your manufacturer for your StarCraft ASIO, now you can just add a command line in your startup, your icon. So your Thetis startup icon properties, and you just put something after the quote. And then it puts CM ASIO tab in audio in Thetis setup. And now you just click on it, drop down menu to your device, and click apply, and you're ready to go. So it's just a fast way instead of doing the registry hack.
All right. I'm not following. I'll get to it once I have some time. I'll get back with you guys to assist me on that. Right now I'm trying to locate some emails and listening to you guys, and I'm trying to post an advertisement like yours at the same time and fly an airplane.
Yeah. No, whenever you're ready, it's real simple. So we'll just add it to your icon, and that's it. So whatever.
All right, appreciate it.
And I'll definitely be looking for the how-to video, Darren. So hurry up, huh? Got the X18 over here. So what does it actually fix, Art? What's it doing?
Okay, so right now you're on an XR 18, right? And I'm just curious, you're just using that only, no other rack gear? I presume you just have your mic going into the XR, and then that USB to your computer, the cable, right? And then when Thetis starts, you use the VAC1 to do the input-output on the XR?
Yeah, that's correct.
So there's a little bit of latency with that MME or whichever Windows driver you select. So truly, what you want to happen is CM ASIO, as soon as you start Thetis, it sidechains the ASIO drivers within Thetis, and you don't even have to turn on VAC1. You can actually leave those channels open for maybe an FTA program or something like that. And you'll have like a little green speaker icon down by the bottom right corner by the UTC clock on Thetis to show that it's activated when you start up Thetis. And it's really simple to do. And even some people have had issues with a swish, like when you key up with the VAC1, doing drivers that way. Richard solved his problem. He doesn't have it no longer. When you key that little millisecond or two of that background noise coming in, that's totally alleviated now when you do CM ASIO.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Especially with the I haven't gotten back into lining up my my other software for FT8. That's too bad. That so it leaves it open. Good. Yeah. That's it's an inconvenience to go switching back and forth on the settings on FT8. I wish it was easier, but that sounds one step better though. To do that.
Oh yeah, for that main reason you just said. As you know, some of the FTA programs like JTDX, it doesn't play well with ASIO. You have to have a regular input-output, whatever the device is. So now it opens up back channel 1 to do that, and then you could still have ASIO on in the background for your mic audio. So that works out great.
Yeah, that and all that COM0COM and banana plugs, and oh my gosh, I wish it was as easy as TCI connection, and that would be it. But I asked what's his name, the Thetis master. Anyway, I'm drawing a blank, but I did ask, and he said he's not interested in working with anything to set up anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, we do have PCI in Thetis only for like hardware connections, not audio stream. And that would be the cat's meow if he can implement that. But he supposedly was going to work on it, but I don't know. It's been on the back burner for quite some time. But again, like JTDX, right? You can use PCI. That would be, it works great for, for the cat control. Same thing for Log4OM. But it would be nice to have PCI for audio as well. Oh man, it would be so much easier than all this, like you said, what is it, Banana, the potato program, all that stuff going on in the background. Yeah, the PCI audio stream would be great.
Yeah, nice and simple. I agree. I had that on the Mac program for the Flex. And when I first, this was probably 3-4 years ago, I had it on the Sun SDR. Then I had the guys from Russia remoting into my computer, and I was chatting them at the same time. And they couldn't get my JTDX and my logbook working with the TCI settings for the Sun. This was 3-4 years ago. I said, wow, well, Flex does a better job. So I stayed with the Flex for a while, and, of course I won't go back, but, it'd be nice. And especially the TCI that's available out there.
Yeah, and of course it's up to the software creators of all these programs that we love and enjoy to implement it too. So, the newer versions might play better, but like you said, that was a few years ago. But all right, I'm gonna go fill up my cup here. I'm gonna get some water, and I'll be back in a few minutes at the 50 N4 QNT.
G4 WQQ.
N4 VFR.
And N2 UNL.
AB3 WBX.
And the voice from the north.
Yes, that would be me.
North of the Bandit.
Yeah, he is a little off frequency.
You all have products outside the band.
Yeah, I'm going to sneak in the kitchen and see if there's any more of the birthday cake, and we'll be back later. And to UNL.
Okay, bring me some. I'm craving for something sweet now.
KB3 WBX. Good evening, Jeff. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Jeff. You're sounding good in Florida.
Thank you. You guys are sounding good here. You been playing on 160? No, not recently. I talked to some fellas up there the other night, and I went back up to see if he was there, but I couldn't find him. So, a couple of nice fellas from down around Charleston, West Virginia. 160. about like 6 meters with me. It's a hit and miss.
Well, they must have been in like the perfect distance.
Probably so. I mean, I talked to 160 to people within about 30 miles of me.
I think I talked to Dwayne once or twice up there, maybe.
I talked to DJ once. It was real hard, but I talked to him.
I've heard the DJ talk. I haven't talked to him up there, though. Well, I might have lied. I think I did talk to him and Dwayne, and I think Art was listening to us. He couldn't talk, but he could hear us, I think.
Yeah, my double little tune there, but I've got a 160 up. I just ain't been using much of it.
I think my doublet's a 160 doublet, 254 feet.
Oh, don't give me a story telling. I ain't sure how long mine is, because I think it's like 252, 253.
Yeah, I think that's what mine is. 65 foot of 600 ohm ladder line, and then about 80 feet of coax.
Now, I got me an ugly ballon made up and got 100 foot of coax on it.
Yeah, I don't have none of that. But I don't think mine's a true doublet. Art calls it a G5RZ on steroids or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Leave it up to the Artster to come up with a nickname for an antenna.
I used to call it the PA Sizzler.
I don't know. I just got a full wave, a half wave, quarter wave, whatever. Inverted V 160 up out here. I made an ugly ballon about 6-8 inches in diameter and taped it up. And it's the coax, you wrap it up and then I put it up there, and then I got 100 foot of coax coming down. So coax is coax fed and coax RF treated.
Yeah, you make about the size of a Maxwell House coffee can. Yeah, I made one.
Yeah, I made this one on a gallon mason jar.
Yes, sir, that would work too. Did you try running your road, going in the way you guys have been going with that new ASIO? Did anybody try it with the road yet?
No, this Rode Duo, it won't work with the Rode Duo, but I'm thinking, and Art's thinking the same thing. I brought it up yesterday, that, the Rode Duo has got like a dual channel in it, and the Rode Pro don't, so I was going to see about it, and I didn't have time to get to it today.
And that Rode Pro's the one you want to get rid of, or the other one?
The Rode Pro's the one I want to get rid of.
Well, if it does it, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you got that focus right up there.
Yeah, I know, but I got to keep messing with my focus right. I don't like it. It's I don't know. It's like the RF prone. If I even touched my cable today, I touched it and moved it about 2 inches and had RF for 3 hours.
I don't see how, Jeff, because I got mine. My focus right is sitting right beside my radio, and the amplifier's on top of it.
Trust me, I know. I'm waiting on more 43s to come now so I can beat it up better.
Waiting on more 43s.
Yeah, the beads, ferrites.
Oh, Lord. I don't even have no ferrites on mine. Honestly, I don't.
Well, mine's been If I move that wiring at all, it wants to come across my screen a little bit.
And for a QNT. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Art.
Seriously, I ain't got a bead one or a ferrite clip on or nothing on mine. I brought the XLR cable out of the back of the virtualizer, plugged it into it, and then used the USB-C. It's a USB-C connection from the Focusrite, and plugged it in and just went right to talking on it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Either that or I ordered a new cable, so we'll see. My regular Focusrite cable, I don't know what happened to it. It quit working. And I tried a different one, but it don't have that choke mate on the end, so I'll order another one. It should be in soon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll play with that Pro tomorrow, Rodecaster Pro tomorrow. I had some things pop up on me today that I just couldn't get to it.
Either that or I'm going to purchase one of them Tappins.
Top it.
Yes,
Richard, remember, when you do that experiment, you want to uninstall the Rode ASIOs first. And that way, and then you can, well, hold on now, what am I thinking? No, that's right. I guess it would be the same. The Rode ASIO would be probably the same driver for both boxes, right? The Duo or the Pro.